Right. All right. So, good evening, everyone. We're going to be talking about chapter 30 of Living Spring, Educate. So, I'm going to read the texts first, and then we'll chat about it. Don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? Paul 1 Corinthians 3:16. In the tiny seed lies the germ of the beneficial trunk. In the heart of the earth, there are melodies of fountains. On the stone blocks, there are masterpieces of sanctuary. The orchard demands active effort. The crystalline stream of water requires aqueducts to be transported uncontaminated. A jewel of sculpture requests miracles from the chisel. Also, the spirit carries with it the gene of divinity. God is with us as much as we are within God. But for the divine light to stand out from the human darkness, the educational process of life must work on us, on the rough path of the millennium. Only the heart ennobled in the greater understanding can pour the sanctifying heroism. Just the cultivated brain can produce enlightened forms of thought. Only spiritual greatness can generate balanced words, sublime verbs, and a comforting voice. Let us interpret pain and work as heavenly artists of our spiritual improvement. Educate, and you will transform the irrational age into intelligence, intelligence into humanity, and humanity into angelhood. Educate, and you will build a paradise on earth. If we if we know that the Lord dwells in us, let us perfect our lives to manifest Him.
The next question, educate yourself. Ta-da! Now done. I saved you a lecture.
All right. Good evening. See you guys next Tuesday.
Very inspiring. Thank you. But what does it mean, Di?
Yes.
Well, wasn't for you to ask questions, Colleen.
You said on your prayer that was just supposed to ask questions.
Yeah.
See, the microphone is saying reduce noise.
Oh, God. How many years you guys know me? By now, you're aware I'm loud. Sorry.
All right. So chapter 30, educate. And right away, that word can sound a bit school-like, so a bit formal, maybe even threatening, if you still remember your homework with emotional scars. But Emmanuel gives a much bigger meaning than the classroom learning. He starts from the idea that something divine already exists within us, and the work of life is to help that light emerge more clearly. So that little music, that what was it? That little light of mine that I'm gonna let it
This
shine.
little light of mine,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine,
Yep.
I'm gonna let it shine.
So yeah, we all want to ace our exams, but sometimes we don't want to study, and that's where this education comes into. Whoa, what happened? My presentation's gone. Hello?
So, catchy.
All right. Can you see the presentation again?
We can see the first page. Yes.
Nice. Right. So in the First Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwell in you? So Emmanuel uses this verse to remind us that spiritual life is not about searching for God outside ourselves, but about refining the inner temple so that the divine presence can be better expressed within ourselves. So that's something that we always put emphasis on, that we are one with God and we are all together in this journey. And he's not saying that you're empty, that you have to find valuable things or valuable thoughts to add to yourself. It's just saying that there is something already sacred within you or within all of us. So God's not absent from the soul. The divine presence is already the deepest truth of our being. We are connected, we are one. So the question is whether our life is helping that joining shine through, or whether we are cluttering the temple of our souls, of our mind, with nonsense and making it harder for the others to see. So we can note that this makes education or betterment sacred, because if God dwells in us, then self-improvement, it's a reverence to Him and to ourselves. So potential needs formation. So we have a tiny seed that contains the future tree, or the spring that needs channels to carry clean water, and the stone that needs the sculptured chisel to become an art. These all images all point to one truth: potential alone is not enough. We need to work on it. So the seed has potential, but still can't just sit there dramatically and become an orchard by positive thinking alone. You have to do some work. And that applies directly to us. We have great and endless possibilities. We all have goodness in the germinate form. We all have some buried nobility, courage, faith, but none of that becomes active just because we like the idea of it. We have to work on it. We have to educate ourselves. So one of the most striking phrases that in the chapter is when Emmanuel says that spirit carries the gene of divinity. So that's a very strong image. He's saying that within the spirit, within ourselves, sorry, there is an imprint, a principle, a particle, or a destiny towards good, towards the truth, and towards the beautiful, towards God. So it makes clear that we are still very much under construction. We're getting there bit by bit. And this is very, very important. So we cannot reduce ourselves or others to today unfinished condition. So we always have to think that all things beautiful that we see, all the constructions, all the art, started from scratch, from something that most people didn't even understand what it would be. And after that, they were creating those great statues or paintings or art forms. So, like Optimus Prime saying in the Transformers, there's more to us than in our spirit than meets the eye. So he didn't say spirit, of course, but that fits here. So we have to see that all of us have that great potential within us. So why the education takes time for the divine light to stand out from darkness? The education process of life work, the education process of life work on us across the stony road of millennia. So we keep on working bit by bit, time by time, incarnation in incarnation, so that we can reach angelic form, let's say. And honestly, that should make us more patient, because we know that we don't have a time limit. We have the infinity to transform ourselves. Not that we can just stay still and like, let's enjoy now and don't do anything. We always have to work on ourselves, always have to to study and to educate ourselves. So we often expect that reform to be instant. We want to do a little bit and like, yes, I'm done with patience. Let's go to the next step. But we want we need a lot of work for us to become what we dream, or what we want to become in regards of those aspects that Jesus teaches. So education takes time because it's not just information. We're not just reading or just getting what others are saying. We have to make that into a transformatory force within ourselves. It has to reach our instincts, our reactions, the habits, the language, the priorities, and the love within our soul. That kind of work is not rushed. You have to go bit by bit. Any questions, any comments at the moment? Good. So it says in the test that work and pain are teachers. So that comes, it's a very challenging line that Emmanuel tells us, because he says for us to interpret pain and work as heavenly artists of our refinement. So we have to understand that, as we always discuss, that's not karma, that you're not suffering just because. There's everything that happens to us have a meaning, have a goal, and we have to embrace that and find that meaning so that we can overcome those difficulties. It's often said that when you lose or when you don't succeed, usually you learn more than when you succeeded first time, because you can try and put that, ingrain that in yourself, and then push that forward.
There is a say on work environments that say, if someone tries something for 100 times and fail and only get right on the 101, doesn't mean that the person fail 100 times. That means that person find 100 ways that doesn't work. He's still learning. So I guess if we put this through our spiritual journey, is in the same sense. Like, doesn't mean we fail at anything. We just find ways that maybe they're not good, not the right one for us, like just experience and learn from them.
Yeah, then I remember once was in I think year 12 or something like that, and the teachers sent us a math test, like a little question that was like very hard, and they were supposed to take probably a week to do it, because should try to do it. And I think I got it like on the first try, or the first thing that I thought about it was the correct one. And on the next day I delivered to him, and he was not happy, because he said he wasn't supposed to get it right at the first time, because you had to try all the others so that you understand how everything works. But yeah, so that was something that stayed with me, because how are you not happy that I got it right? So, but that was the idea, for you to try all the other things so that you can make sure that you understand them and know that those things are not used for everything that you do. So Emmanuel said that that doesn't mean that pain is pleasant, or that suffering should be romanticized. It means that difficulties can educate us if we meet them with intelligence, humility, and trust. We may not enjoy it, especially the chisel that shape us, but the chisel can shape the stone, so it can shape us into a beautiful light. So moral greatness is not built by emotion alone, but by heart trained in compassion, patience, and insight. A truly educated heart becomes more patient, more compassionate, and more able to see the struggles of others without harshness and without judgment. It becomes less reactive and more charitable. It does not lose feeling, it deepens feeling with wisdom. And this is where charity enters naturally. When you start to feel and feel really within yourself, within your soul, that care for other people, the charity starts to come to you naturally. So every time that we choose kindness over when we are irritated with something, where just lashing out would be easier, or every time that we listen to other people without judging them, just for the sake of having to lend a ear for the person that needs to say something. So every time that we care for someone without making ourselves the center of story, that the heart is being educated, or our soul is being educated and transformed. That's correct. So the cultivated brain can produce enlightened forms of thoughts, and spiritual greatness can generate balanced speech and a soothing voice. So if we start to have that wisdom pass not only on our words, but bring that wisdom within ourselves, we start to understand how other people are feeling, and we can adapt ourselves to be more approachable, more charitable towards them. So that's very practical. Spiritism does not ask us to remain mentally lazy and simply call it spirituality. So I'm meditating when I say I'm meditating when I'm not doing anything, just laying in the sofa. That's not educating myself. So we value study, clarity, and discipline of thought, responsibility on what we say. We are meant to improve not only what we feel, but also what we think and how we communicate with others. As we said in the beginning, the seed and the needs transformation, or the water needs the clear channel. So if you just have the water, if you have only the seed, you don't have much, let's say, the end product. So we have to shape that into something that we can use to help ourselves or help the others. And honestly, this may be one of the hardest classrooms of all, because many of us speak first and try to educate ourselves later, or a sentence later. So we lash out, and then we see that we said something that we shouldn't, and we try to make amends. But yeah, the right thing to do is always to think first and let the feeling be purified, and then the speech, or what we want to say, comes more balanced, more healing, or less dramatic. Huh?
Dramatic is nice.
Not all the time, but yeah. So that gives us a long view of the spiritual life. So we know that growth happens in stages. First, there is the taming of the instinct, then the awakening of the intelligence, and the moral flowering of humanity. We only need to accept the next step faithfully. Education is the bridge from what we are now to what we are meant to become. Anyone wants to say anything? So if God dwells in us, then improving our reactions, our habits, our responsibilities, our studies, our relationships, and our daily conduct is all part of us manifesting that divine presence, or manifesting that divine side of ourselves. The aim is to become more useful to good, to our good, to good of the people around us, to the community. a calmer person helps more than a person that is always irritated or lashing out everywhere. A wise person harms less, and a more disciplined person serves better. And a gentler person reveals more of God in everyday life. So that means that our ordinary efforts matter. Any effort that you do or that you do with that goal in mind, it's always for your good and the greater good. So reading something uplifting instead of feeding mental rubbish with a lot of Instagram and Facebook. We all do that, but yeah, we always can be reading something more uplifting or correcting a harsh tone that we usually use with someone, trying to correct that before it comes out of our mouth or comes out of our thoughts first. So doing our work properly, studying with purpose, and speaking with more balance, forgiving more quickly. So all of that belongs to the work of education, the work that we have to educate ourselves. So a bit of reflection. It helps to us to pause and ask what life may be trying to teach us, and at this moment of our lives. So think about all the problems or the issues that you are having. Why is that happening to you at this moment? What is trying to teach me, or what can I get? What teachings can I retrieve from that? Because not everything is there for to shape us, but we can use that to shape ourselves or to become better or to polish ourselves. So what rough edge is the chisel touching? What's that sore spot that we are feeling within ourselves? What habit is asking to be refined? Is our heart being educated in patience? Is our mind being educated in clarity? Is our speech or communication with others being educated in balance? Is my pain merely being endured, or is it also being interpreted? As we said, everything that happens around us, we can always interpret as a punishment, or we can use that as a way for us to grow. We can always grab some education from anything that happens around us. So that old uh, teachings of that we try to impart here. It's always the self-knowledge that's not meant for us to just make us gloomy. I failed here. I could have done better here. It's just meant to help us with our divine education or divine path. So we have to sit quietly and meditate on ourselves and try to improve as much as we can. Any comments and thoughts? Nope. And just to finalize, Lulu, before I finalize.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
I was wondering about like the best. Is there a best way to balance the learning study with the service out? If that's does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, how do we find a good balance there?
That I think that's very hard, and I think it goes from person to person. If you think about like, especially on a spiritual life, when you are discarnate, you learn a lot, but you have put everything that you learn there through your incarnation, through the test. So you have to have both the learnings so that you can understand what's happening, because you can do things without learning. Like we all do stuff sometimes that we never learned about, and we did, but I would say that's harder. So if you have that basis and you put that to practice, that helps more. But I think you have to have both sides. That's my understanding.
I guess I understood your question differently. You asked
Me
about
too.
balance, right?
Yeah, Alex, that was helpful.
Yeah, I guess if you talk about balance of learning and doing it, um, I don't think we can quantify that this is gonna be, this amount is good and this what would you do with your learning. It's like measurable and acceptable and blah blah blah. But that's me thinking about your question. I guess it's more about we talked about like 2 weeks ago or so about the intentions behind. It's not the quantity that you achieve, but the intention of your actions. If you with your learning were able to help one person, but your intentions, your love and your attention is that with the purity of the action, it's I guess it's not better is the wrong word here, but I guess it's a better what is the word in here that I'm looking for?
Portuguese?
Nah, I got stuck off my line of thought. I guess if you like, it's your intention that counts towards, not as much as you learn and as much as you put in practice. Of course, that all goes hand in hand. But I guess like whatever you do and whatever you learn is not in quantity, but your intention. If you're learning one thing, but you're learning with your heart in that thing, it's good enough. If you're able to practice and put in action one thing, but your heart is there, that's good enough. I guess the balance, I guess for me, balance is on the intention behind what you do. Maybe I get that more confused now. Sorry. But that's me.
That's helpful. Okay, thank you.
Yes, may I contribute? Yes, to learn means not that you have read, but it means that you have understood. And to understand something means to integrate it into yourself, into your self-knowledge. So learning can only occur when you see it in action. And the learning can only occur when in this action you reflect and you look at yourself and say, why did I do that? How did I do that? What was the effect of when I did that? And then, yes, reflect and then uplift it, and to see how much the ego played a part in your action. Yes, the intent absolutely plays a part in all of this. Yes, but it is about reflecting on your action to see how far you have come. And your action may be even just words. Why did I say that? How did I say that? What influenced me in saying that? And seeing how much a part of the ego, which is the mind chatter, which engages everything that separates us from oneness with the other. So it is complex what you ask. There is no balance. It is your commitment to be aware. So in everything we do, there is opportunity to reflect. How did I do the washing up? I did it when I was listening to something and I had no idea what my hands were doing. I did it and it automatically happened. Does this mean that you were present in that moment? It means that your mind was elsewhere. And this is the same when we engage in conversation with another. Are we totally present? So it is constantly checking on yourself. If we begin to embrace the learning, then we commit to asking ourselves constantly, why did I say that? Where were we? Why? And this can become, yes, a bit of a task in the beginning, but it is about gradually breaking down who we have decided we have become. Because much of who we have become is based on a lot of assumptions that we have built up around ourselves. So it is about breaking all of that down. Why did I say that? Who do I think I am? What is it that I see is lacking in this? And why was that person not accepting of what I said? Is it because of them? Or was it really that I wasn't tuning in? It is constantly, maybe in the beginning, it is going to be noisy. But if we begin the process, then step by step, before we act, we breathe and allow love to actually play a huge part, if not all of it, to dictate how we act and what we say. Yes. And this is about educating ourselves in breaking down the noise and breaking down all of those assumptions that we have built up around us about ourselves and the world. Yes. 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 So the balance, you find your balance when you find your harmony with yourself. And that will naturally occur when you don't take yourself so seriously. Because taking yourself so seriously reflects that you have judged yourself and judged others in a particular way, rather than allowing it to flow and for everything to become a joyous dance.
So it's more, yeah, that's when you're more learning in the head as opposed to learning in the heart.
Yes, yes, yes. The learning from books, the learning from your head, all needs to be, in the end, needs to be released, because you have filled it up with knowledge that is in the way of you connecting to the moment.
Yeah, it needs to be transformed from your head to your heart to your
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is an upliftment when we release the need to be, yes, to be constantly applying our knowledge rather than connecting in love. But to connect in love, we have to break down the ego in it all and question ourselves ad nauseum until we are sick of ourselves. Why do we do things? Why are they doing things? Stop it and allow for the moment to reveal itself in its miraculous nature. Yes. Then we can sit and truly be at peace. Yes. Yes. Nice one, Alex. Nice presentation. Short but lovely.
Thank you. Just to finalize, so we have to understand that that the improvement of the soul is not a private business only, because that changes homes, changes conversations, changes community and relationships. So when we improve ourselves, we improve everyone around us, because we start to shine that light everywhere stronger, and bit by bit everyone around you starts to pick up on that, or learning by example sometimes. So if we know that God dwells within us, we have to improve our life as to manifest as much of Him as possible when we act. So that's my message for us today. Thank you for listening to me. Anyone have any final comments?
Thank you very much.
You're not cold.
I am. I'm freezing.
All right. So if you all wanna just have a deep breath in and out, let's cherish this moment of peace, this moment of cold. so that we can enjoy this part of life, this part of the weather, so that we can find all the good things that we can do, stay under a blanket, around the fire, having a hot beverage to warm our hearts, warm our souls. Dear Lord, that this lesson today can be taken to our hearts, can be used to improve ourselves, improve our community, and shine our light even brighter so that we can affect in a good way all the people around us. Thank you for the opportunity to be alive, to be here learning, to be surrounded of the people that we have, with all the friends, incarnate and discarnate, that help us continue our work. Bless our week so that we can continue our journey. And hopefully we can meet again next Tuesday with a little bit more warmth and a little bit more learning. So be it.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone, for this lovely night. Next week is Jackson? You? Okay.
You too. All right. I'm sorry I'm gonna miss, but I will be seeing you guys in 2 weeks' time. No, 3
3 weeks.
3 weeks time.
Have a great trip,
Thank
Di,
you.
and shine as you always do. Yes.
Oh, thank you. You guys are just too kind. Yeah, it will be good. It will be a good experience for work and a quick hello to family over there. But I will be back. Don't cry too much. I will be back in 3 weeks to see you guys.
Have a brilliant time.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys enjoy, and I see you when I'm back. Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Howard.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.